wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell. If it wasn't for your wellies.
Welcome back to our family dairy farm. We're going to show you behind the scenes of a real working Irish farm. This week is mental. The big news behind everything is the builders are back and the sheds are getting sheeted. We're so excited.
Saturday morning, cows coming in. 7:25, on top of the football field. The grand background noise of all our calves bawling, looking for their bit of grub. Beefy calves are exceptionally noisy this morning. Dairy ones the far side of the road are making noise too. Where are you going? 1760. Cow, hey. Shh. Bit of moisture overnight. Little drop overnight. I don't know what forecast I was looking at yesterday, but there was nothing forecast. But now there could be bits of rain for most days next week. The percentages of it happening aren't high, but sure, look, fingers crossed, we'll get a drop. We had 4 mil in the gauge this morning. Unexpected for me and delighted. So keep the dust down anyway and might start things moving again. Putting a second bale out into the top of the football field for the cows. Had one out, but they weren't happy campers, so all about keeping them happy at the moment, keeping them fed. As you can hear, probably not hear of the earphones in, lots of noise. Second one is up over there. Keep them going for the day. Enjoy, girls. Spent the morning, Saturday morning, the 22nd or something I think is it, of August. We're just moving a diesel tank. It used to be here. Moved it up closer to the gate there now. A little bit easier access there now. Leveled off a bit of ground and it's all good. Dogs are finally getting the hang of getting into the front of the van. I have to sit in the driver's seat and just push the door open because the first place they want to get up is on the seat beside me. But good dogs. Morning everyone, Sunday morning, the 24th of August. It's just 7:15, cows in the yard, milking time. We're back to kind of coolish mornings. Although it's been very mild yesterday, I think it's been mild again today with a bit of sunshine. Yeah, the forecast is to change. Don't know what weather app I was looking at in the last video, that there was no rain forecast, but there is not significant amounts, but there is rain forecast for this week. We'll take all of it as we can at the moment. We're getting the tail end of a hurricane that's out in the Atlantic Ocean. Hurricane Erin, I think it's called. We mightn't get the winds, but we might get a dribble of rain between now and right through the next weekend. I think, yeah, grand 4 mil of rain there, the night before, so that has softened the pace a small bit. You can sort of see the ground going hot. I'll take a bit of that. Status on farm, cows are down the football field. We are in with 2 bales of silage a day, depending on the cover of grass that's in the paddock that they're going into. Yeah, Fionn ran around and done a grass measure on Friday, and we've a nice big hole in the middle of our wedge. So we're going to be feeding silage and 4 kilos of meal now for, I'd say, most of this week, well, all of this week, and see if we get a bounce when we get a bit more rain. Yeah, it's unusual. Normally you'd be building covers at this time of the year to, you know, have a decent wedge of grass in front of the cows, but yeah, look, the rain will come and grass will bounce back hopefully. Production wise, cows are, we actually dropped below the 20 litres. 2 collections ago, I pushed them hard on the paddock out there, or maybe the one before that, so that impacted the yield a little bit, but they're recovered. They're back up to the 20 litres there now in the last collection. We had a massive spike in our cell count with the cow with bad case of mastitis, so we have her out and getting her treated now. I tried our homeopathic thing for the first day, didn't see a response, so we're in with antibiotics now. But on our solid side, we have broke 9% solids for the first time. So we're on 5.084 fat and 4.11 protein. I think that's what it has there. It's not on my docket. It wasn't on yesterday's docket. It's on the phone there somewhere. Anyway, we're over 9% solids, which is super. Although our protein might drop a bit now because the silage just came in. That's the joys of it. But yeah, cows, if we can hold them 20 litres or just around that for another 2 to 3 weeks, and probably won't be difficult now with the amount of silage just coming in. Keep them solids where they are, keep them rising, and that'll keep a serious base under our milk price. So yeah, Sunday morning, we're going to get these cows milked. Myself and Oscar have trained this morning. We have a 2-year-old birthday party this afternoon. Get our other little bits of jobs done, get the calves their meal and stuff. So there's a football match this afternoon, first round of the championship for the under 14s. Yeah, let's get some cows milked.
Ellen, the farm wife here. One of our next videos is going to be an in-depth look at our milk statement from Gambia, our cow breed, all the whys, all the questions answered. So in the comments, can you please type in any questions that you want answered on our milk solids, on our supply level, cow breed, past, present and future, and we'll try our best to answer everything. Be as cheeky as you like. We'll either answer them or we won't. No hassle.
Milking done, cows coming out. A couple of bales of silage out in the paddock for them. And they'll clean off then the rest of football field 2 from last night. Just a quick update on our TB situation. We got a letter from the department on Thursday or Friday saying we have to get our next TB test done between the 12th and the 26th of September. Into the vet there on Friday. We are booked in now for the 15th of September, Monday the 15th of September. While I was in there, Cora in the office went in onto our department's account, whatever access they have, just to check out what way the cows, when they killed out, was there any visible lesions, etc. So neither cow came back with visible lesions, which can be taken 2 ways. When the department vet was here, he was saying that necessarily wasn't a good sign, because it would mean that the infection, the 2 cows that went down, would have been very recent. Did we get all the cows in that test? So there's potential for more in the next test. Traditionally, it would have been seen that as a positive, and I think still see it as a positive, because if the cows had very visible lesions, it would mean that the infection had been knocking around for a long time, and that you could have carrier cows in the herd that would be shedding TB everywhere, and now it's just coming out for whatever reason, stress on the herd, etc. So there could be potential for bigger numbers. Anyway, take it whatever way you want. Our next test, we have to get 2 clear tests, so our first one is booked in now for the 15th of September. Fingers crossed, we'll see how we go. So 2839 is determined not to stay in his pen with his smaller buddies. In here with the big boys now, and sure, obviously because he is a smaller, lighter bull, he's not getting access to the truck. In here this morning, so obviously came out under the bar or some freaking nonsense during the night. Dude, you clown. I'm here across the road giving a meal to the calves. Can't shout them as normal because the cows are just there. Oh, they're after seeing me now and coming on. Cows are just there. They're like, hang on a second. What? When are we getting more meal and fresh grass, Joe? It's hilarious. All come running to the gate where I am, forgetting that the trucks are over there with the meal in it. Hang on, where's that plastic bag? Can I grab that to the gate now? Rubbish. Sunday evening, I'm full of birthday cake, coffee and all the right things to get me through my few jobs this evening. Obviously the cows have to be milked. I'm here filling up an IBC with water for Willie and the heifers. One job that I'm really good at the moment is puncturing holes in the IBC. So the last one I had punctured a hole in it yesterday. So I'm on my 3rd IBC now this year. This one already has a hole on the far side that was mended a couple of years ago. The reason we hadn't been using this one is that I'll bring it down here and show you. That thick black frame that's on the bottom is too narrow for the forks of the tractor to go directly into it. So I have it strapped on to an extremely strong pallet at the moment. Hoping that's going to do the job. Filling it up here now and getting up the willy and the heifers, and we're going to give them a fresh strip of grass, and then we're going to mix some cows. IBC emptying into the water truck, currently moving the wire now, while Willie and the heifers are over under the big tree over there sheltering. So I'll do a sneaky little move with the strip wire here without getting a second reel before they realise I'm here. As predicted, no flies on Willie. As soon as he saw me, trot, 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 trot. Good lad, Will. Water's over there. Fresh pick of grass here. As you can see, they have their first strip after the scut. Only Dockley is left. Happy campers now. A quick note and point, it always helps if you connect the hose into the milk tank before you start milking. Joe, Sunday evening mistakes. Joe! Sunday evening cows going out. Bit of moon, bit of night, that's so late. Sure, look, 2-year-old birthday parties come first. Alright cows. Monday morning, 7:05, cows in the yard. Per steel in the yard. Let the sheeting commence. Whoop, whoop. Oh lads, the excitement.
The boys are back in school today. Sive is off on an adventure Clare trip, and hold up, myself and Myrna have just bought a new nozzle gun for the diesel tank.
Monday evening, cows coming in. Oscar's helped me this evening. It's a Monday. Roadway does be a lot busier during the week, so Oscar's getting them in there. Well, I'm getting them blocking the gaps, isn't that what it is? So a bit of a treat for the cows this evening. Give you a bit more info on that now when we get them up to the parlour. I've also laid on some water up at the parlour for when they're in the collecting yard and for after milking. Cow, you are just been a contrary tramp. Where you go? Cheat, cheat. Water pressure down to the football field, as we call it, it can be quite low at times because it goes under the roadway in a 1/2 inch pipe. Comes down in 1 inch and then under the roadway in a 1/2 inch pipe, and that drops pressure significantly. So yeah, demand is quite high. Obviously with the extremely dry weather, we've laid on a bit of water for them. It was only yesterday evening that I noticed that when I went down to get them in that the trough was empty. Or not empty, it was a quarter full, you know, and cows were looking a little bit thirsty. We have that remedy for them today. Here's Oscar getting them in. Yeah, we slowed down the rotation significantly now, putting the silage out in the field. There's a band of rain coming through this evening, so we're hoping we're going to get as much of that as possible, and see how we go. So we're, what, 10 days or less from when we put the pour on the cows, maybe a fortnight max. I have to say I'm very disappointed with the amount of tail swinging that's going on this evening. Our Echo Spec wasn't nearly as effective as the spot nor. Lesson learned. So, tree time for the cows. This is our fodder beet and soil hull mix that we have left over from the spring. We had it in soil below in the yard. The plan is to get up to 4.5, maybe 5 kilos per head into the cows per day. Now for the next period of time while we're waiting on rain to come. So we don't have the second tractor to run the wagon at the moment. We won't be putting the beet into the mix when we're feeding the cows. Hopefully that may start in a few days. Got good news on the diets there earlier on. We should have it back in a couple of days' time. Fingers crossed. Anyway, the cleanest, most efficient way for us to feed out our beet at the moment, because our shed obviously is still under construction, is to feed it in the parlour. So that means Joe with a shovel, couple of buckets, and going to shovel it in and feed. The plan is to feed it in the evening time. I actually haven't got around to weighing what a full bucket, 1.5 buckets weighs. But for this evening, I'm just going to put in 2 buckets per row. So that's just a slow introduction for the cows for the next couple of days. And then I will have someone helping me milk the cows in the evening time. Oscar, Ellen, Sive, whoever is free and available, just to put on and off units while I'm loading this in. When we have 4 kilos a head per cow, like that's 80 kilos per row. So it's a good bit of bucket. Anyway, I'm feeling young and fresh, and going to work on my muscles and my physique for as long as we have the beet in the diet. Try it on! So our mama cow nose gets that smell, so there we are. Loaded into the truck. By the weight of the buckets that I'm carrying them, I reckon there could be 15, maybe 18 kilos in a bucket. So it might only be 3 buckets a row. I went with a bucket and a half there, not to go overboard. And there's the other side, all lined up. So I'll refill the buckets now and have them ready to go for the second one. As predicted, she needs no encouragement. Come on, girl, come on, come on. Come on, up you go, good girls, up. They'll be a bit slower loading. The plan is to give them their 1 pull of meal on top of that now, and should be no bother with intakes. Cows tuck it in. Happy out. Monday evening, the 25th of August, it's 6:10. The cows are gone out after their treat of fodder beet and soya hulls. They all took to it like ducks to water and thoroughly enthused, looking for more. So hopefully that'll stop our yield collapsing or dropping too much now that we've a bit of extra silage in while we wait on rain. As you can see, it's gone very overcast. The rain is on the way. There's a band coming through. But I want you to come with me now as I walk into our roofed calf shed. Into the sliding door here in the centre. And there she is. Per steel in at 7 o'clock this morning. They left there about 5:30. Calf shed has a roof on. And then they started over on the far shed, putting the gutters up. Progress is savage. There's something I want to zoom in on, some feature here. If you remember from our earlier videos, there was an opening left between both sides of the shed to be covered down as it is now. Traditionally, if I zoom in more, you can see there through the clear light how far over that cover comes. Traditionally, that cover would have ended where that purline, that silver purline is there. So as a result, a certain amount of water, if the rain blew in from the left or the right, depending on what direction it was coming, water would blow in underneath that and then end up down here on your calf shed. But because that cover is almost a foot over the purline that's carrying it, ain't no water going to blow in there, creating a fantastic vent for our heat that's going to rise in our calf shed and come up along the roof and out through the top. Absolutely delighted with that. Clear lights from wall to eave, from centre to eave, whatever the terminology is. One in each bay. Yeah, she is going to be a super bright, airy shed. Oh lads, so happy. That's it for this week's video. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully by Saturday, I'll be standing over in the cow shed with something very, very similar over my head. We'll talk to you then. Good luck. Drive it. That's Farmer Phil's. Scratch that. We'll talk to you then. Drive it on.